Ever heard of the 80-20th rule, also known as the Pareto principle? It's a concept that says roughly 80% of results come from 20% of efforts. The idea of the 80-20 rule started way back in 1906 in Italy, thanks to a guy named Vilfredo Pareto. He noticed that about 80% of the wealth in Italy was owned by just 20% of the people. And even in his garden, he saw that 20% of the pea pods produced 80% of the peas. Pretty interesting, huh? It basically says that in many situations, a small portion of something often has a big impact. Now, why should you care about this rule? Well, it's because it can help you be super efficient. Think about it like this. If you focus on the most important 20% of your tasks or activities, you can get 80% of the results you want. So, instead of trying to do everything, you can concentrate on the stuff that really matters and still get most of the benefits. It's like finding the sweet spot in your efforts to get the best outcomes. People have found that when they apply this rule in their lives, they become way more productive. It's like finding a shortcut to success. So, if you want to achieve more without working yourself to the bone, the 80-20 rule might just be your ticket. Cool, right? So, in this video, you will learn what the 80-20 rule is and how vital this principle can really be for you when applied correctly into your life, which has shown to drastically improve productivity in a lot of people's lives. So please drop a like. Alright, so the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule, hits the nail on the head by showing us that a small chunk of effort often leads to the majority of results, or vice versa. For instance, 20% of your actions might generate 80% of your outcomes, or conversely, 80% of your actions might only contribute to 20% of your results. And guess what? Interestingly, even today, Vilfredo Pareto's observations still hold true. About 20% of the world's population controls a whopping 82.7% of the world's wealth. That's a big deal. To make you understand better, consider two individuals, Richard and Henry, as an illustration. Richard is like the Energizer Bunny, constantly on the go, always hustling to get things done. But here's the kicker. Just because Richard is busy doesn't mean he's productive. On the flip side, there is Henry. He puts in a solid 5 hours of work each day and then spends the rest of his time chilling with his loved ones or doing things he enjoys. So, who do you think is the real productivity champ here? It's Henry, right? While Richard might be burning the midnight oil, most of his effort is probably going towards tasks that don't really move the needle much. Henry, on the other hand, has figured out how to focus on the crucial 20% of activities that deliver 80% of the results. He's working smarter, not harder. Now, let's clear the air. Hard work isn't a bad thing. It's just that sometimes we can get caught up in the busyness trap and end up spinning our wheels without making much progress. That's where the 80-20 rule swoops in to save the day. It reminds us to take a step back, reassess our priorities, and channel our efforts into the tasks that truly matter. After all, it's not about how much you work, it's about how effectively you work. Here's a couple of life examples you can ask the 80-20th rule. Recognizing that 80% of your phone time was unproductive, you made a conscious effort to reduce unnecessary usage. This decision has freed up valuable time, leading to increased productivity and efficiency in both your work and personal life. Or imagine you're a student preparing for final exams. You have a long list of topics to review, practice questions to solve, and essays to write. Applying the 80-20 rule can help you prioritize your study efforts effectively. First, analyze your study materials and past exams to identify which topics or concepts are most frequently tested and carry the most weight in terms of marks. You might find that roughly 20% of the topics cover 80% of the exam content. Next, allocate the majority of your study time to mastering these high-impact topics. By concentrating your efforts on the most important areas, you're likely to achieve better results with less time and effort. Another practical example. Imagine you're a parent juggling multiple responsibilities, including taking care of your children, managing household chores, and perhaps working from home. With limited time and energy, applying the 80-20 rule can help you prioritize tasks and focus on what matters most. First, Identify the essential household chores that contribute significantly to your family's well-being and comfort. These might include tasks like cooking meals, doing laundry, and cleaning communal areas. You might find that roughly 20% of the chores account for 80% of the impact on your family's daily life. Next, allocate your time and energy primarily to completing these high-impact tasks efficiently. Instead of trying to tackle every chore on your to-do list, focus on completing the most critical ones first. For example, ensuring that nutritious meals are prepared and shared together as a family might take precedence over other less essential chores. By prioritizing the most impactful tasks, you can create a more harmonious and organized household environment while also freeing up time to spend quality moments with your children. By doing so, you become more efficient and productive, ultimately improving your overall performance. Time is precious and irreplaceable, making it essential to use it wisely. Personally, I plan to apply the 80-20 rule by assessing my tasks and responsibilities, determining where I can delegate or eliminate tasks that don't contribute significantly to my goals, and prioritizing activities that align with my strengths and objectives. This strategic approach will help me optimize my time and effort, leading to greater productivity and success. What about you? How do you plan to integrate the 80-20 rule into your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're new here, welcome. If you're interested in more content on life and financial improvement, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching. Take care.